Over the weekend, Israel received 3 more hostages as part of the ceasefire deal with Hamas. For 491 days, we have seen images of Ohad, Eli, and Or as we have hoped and prayed that they would come home safely. But what we saw upon their return was haunting, as the 3 men who were paraded on stage by masked terrorists looked nothing like the images of the men we had grown so accustomed to seeing. They looked gaunt and unsteady on their feet as they were released by the terror group 16 months after they were kidnapped from their homes and from the Nova Music Festival. How is it that in 2025, the image of emaciated Jews is not outraging the world? And yet only a few days ago, we saw 3 Jewish men paraded on a stage by armed and masked gunmen as shadows of their former selves. All this occurring while people falsely claim that Hamas is treating their hostages well. Maybe we should ask why Hamas even has hostages in the first place. Maybe we should ask why 2 of the hostages released returned home to Israel only to learn that their loved ones were murdered by Hamas on October 7th, 2023. Make no mistake, Hamas is evil. They are the fruit from the same toxic tree that bore ISIS and Al-Qaeda. But unlike those 2 terror outfits, Hamas has found sympathy and support in the US and all over the West. How can so many people be blind to this evil, especially as more and more survivor testimonies emerge of Hamas torturing and starving hostages in their captivity? Or maybe they're not blind. Maybe the virus of Jew hatred, which has poisoned the hearts of so many, has infected their hearts too. How people who claim they advocate for peace and justice can see 3 men released after almost 500 days in captivity, resembling images of those liberated from death camps in 1945, and simply shrug or justify their treatment is truly shocking. How those same people can remain mute as a baby continues to be held with his toddler brother defies all belief. Is it just because they're Jewish? While I want to believe that this isn't the case, it's hard to explain it otherwise, especially when you have the insane rantings of Kanye West against the Jews once again plastered all over the news while he sells t-shirts with the Nazi swastika on it. This has garnered little attention of public condemnation. Surely bigotry is wrong and it must be fought no matter who the target is, yet when it comes to the Jewish community, it seems to be a blind spot for many so-called activists. History has shown the way a society treats its Jewish population is indicative of its decline. While we now have an administration that seems willing to fight Jew hatred forcefully and stand with Israel, we must continue to fight the virus and shine the light of truth. The future depends on it. Ultimately, the biblical promises are clear. The Lord says he will bless those who bless the Jewish people and curse those who curse them, and history is the greatest proof of this.
Thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get a notification every time a new episode hits. And if you want to check out some of our previous episodes, and we've got some really good ones, click on one of the thumbnails and that will take you right there. And finally, if you want to know more about CUFI and the work we do, go to CUFI.org to check out all the resources we have available free to you.